Hello everyone, welcome to my new Let's Play of Victoria 2. This is a grand strategy game that takes place during the colonization period, whatchamacallit, from 1836 to 1936, and I will be playing as Spain. Now, I'm not really going to waste too much time explaining things. I'm just going to dive right in, because that's what I do. Now, we're eventually we'll have to cut spending on pretty much everything, but for now, I'm going to actually spend more on the military, and just, I'm picking Spain because to me, it's an interesting country to play as, because when you start out, Spain's in the middle of a military uprising on the mainland. As you'll see if I jump into the politics tab under rebels. The Carlists, they want to impose a different ruler on the throne. And at this point in history, because I do have some minor knowledge of this era in history, so I'll talk about it a little bit. Spain has lost most of its overseas empire. It controls a tiny bit of Africa. This little island here, which I'm going to start out by putting a naval base on, so we can eventually colonize Africa. In addition to that, Spain controls Cuba, some minor islands in the Americas, and all the way out in the Pacific, we have control of the Philippines. Which is going to be very important, because the Pacific is likely going to be where most of our colonial expansion will take place. So, we are going to try to take Spain, which starts out going into debt, among other things, and shape them into a mega power. Full nation, and rebuild with an empire. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm checking to see if any of my units have leaders I can yoink off of them to use on the mainland. And it does appear the answer is no. No matter. That army will meet up there. I'm not going to mobilize just yet. I'm hoping that I don't have to. We're going to knock it up to 3 speed and get this started. A couple countries entering military alliances. And we're moving up to strike against this army. Everything's going well. Some irrelevant nation has gone bankrupt. And we get a CB on them. By the way, CB is short for Casus Belli, which is basically a claim. And that gives us a rightful cause to go to war with them. Because in this game, you can't declare war for no reason. You have to have just cause for your attack. There. And now we're going to continue this and stomp out this army of rebels that's rampaging across the Spanish mainland before we turn our efforts to colonization. I think it'll go all right. These rebels aren't going to pose much of a challenge, I shouldn't say. And we're going into debt now. This seems to be taking a while. But we won. Fortunately. Time for us to keep up the attack. That's our first order of the day. Crush the rebellion. Crush the rebellion, scum. Yes, that was a shameless Darth Sidious ripoff. There. And two of you can pay them a visit. France and Algeria are having a little spat. Color me unsurprised. Now we'll pursue. Victoria, huh? Meet you there. And we don't need to siege, so we'll head up there to finish off that last army. Before it can finish up its siege, Tunis and Morocco formed an alliance. They're both primitive and irrelevant. No offense to anyone from either of those places, but according to this game, they are. But by primitive and irrelevant, what I actually mean is not Western. Looks like we're gonna lose this battle, actually. Unless I'm wrong. Nope, I was wrong. I like being wrong when I think we're gonna lose. But I'm not gonna pursue this time. I want to give my morale a chance to recover. Because unlike them, we are not at full morale. And we currently owe a lot of money. We're not at full morale yet, but we're going to attack anyhow. I hope it goes okay. Appears like it's going to. See, Oviedo. Apologies to any Spanish people if I'm saying that wrong, but I'm not from Spain. So I don't pronounce Spanish names properly. A little quirk about not being from your country. And we have won. The Carlist uprising is crushed. We are going to greatly reduce our stockpile and cut military spending. We need to start making a profit again. Which will unfortunately mean taxing the hell out of our populace. Now let's see how this translates. going well enough. Over in the Pacific, though, we need to move some of our troops. Soon enough, we're going to want to start expanding our empire around the Pacific. And to do that, we need a professional army. Filipino infantry. There. Let's see. Filipino infantry. Yes, building 2 more units. More stuff going on over in Europe. Not a whole lot of European interest to us right now. Just going to pick up this army here. Yes, we're just gonna pick up our army. The UK gave a little bit of territory to America, I see. And it seems the UK is at war with somebody. Texan War of Independence, the United States has thrown their lot in behind the US. Sorry, the USA's thrown their lot in behind Texas. And we've got a war going on between Russia, the Netherlands, their puppet states, and the UK and Belgium. Which was no doubt started when the Netherlands tried to annex Belgium, because if you didn't know this, they actually start the game with cores on all of Belgium. So if they play their cards right, they can annex it. I've never actually seen that happen, though. Usually the UK sticks their nose in and stops the Dutch, usually by taking a whole bunch of their colonies off them. And we've got a newspaper, because I think I forgot to mention this, but I'm playing this game with the House Divided and Heart of Darkness expansions. So Heart of Darkness adds newspapers, for one thing. So war between the Netherlands and Belgium to annex Belgium, as I said. Wind of Westernization. France took some territory. yeah.